The following story was written and recorded by Miles, a participant in Mental Health Connecticut's Write On program. This class was done online during the 2020 coronavirus pandemic, precluding our usual in-person final reading event. The title of Miles' piece, which discusses suicide, is TED Talk for the Mentally Sane. The story is raw, personal, and contains language that may not be suitable for younger listeners.
I have a simple question to ask you. Which swing fells the tree? Lizzie Borden took an axe and gave her mother 40 whacks. When she saw what she had done, she gave her father 41. Which swing killed her parents? Which swing killed her? Which swing kills the tree? Suicide is the fourth leading cause of death between the ages of 35 and 54. For 10 to 34-year-olds, it is the second. Maybe it comes to us more naturally. Personally, I think we work harder than boomers. Maybe we shouldn't. Last year in the United States, there were nearly 3 times as many suicides as homicides, 50,000. The Center for Disease Control suggests that suicide rates will only increase during the coronavirus pandemic, reaching tallies not seen since the Great Depression. There is a pandemic happening, yes, but why haven't we discussed the epidemic that has ravaged our communities for the last 2 decades? Now you may be wondering, who am I? What right do I have to speak? I'm an artist. I'm also a suicide in waiting. For now, while you still have me, why don't you listen to what I have to say? I didn't know I was mentally ill. When you grow up in chronic pain, it leaves scars that you don't know aren't supposed to be there, like static that never truly goes away, but lives inside your heart and your head. It gives you tunnel vision. Things seem brighter, louder, scarier. I still don't think of myself as a decent basket case. I made it to 30 after all. I had lovely parents, a fine education, stable home, and I only have 8 attempts under my belt, 3 of them serious. I've never been institutionalized. I know the classic criteria for diagnosis and how to answer every question, but I cannot run forever. COVID-19 has a mortality rate of roughly 3%. For depression, bipolar, and borderline, it's 25%. If this affected all of us, it would be considered one of the single greatest existential threats to humanity. But it isn't, because it doesn't. There were 1.5 million attempts last year alone, many of them high school children. On average, someone will attempt approximately 8 times. The average person stops after 8 attempts. What do you think stops them? Where did your mind go? Was it to the after-school programs that occupy their time? Was it to their local community center? Was it to the therapist and prescription medicine they could afford? Was it to the friends who were trained in health class to recognize the symptoms? Was it to the social workers who have time to meet individually? Was it to the community workers who make sure they have resources like training, groceries, and hobbies? Or was it to something else? Maybe something you associate with suicides, with artists. I don't say this for you to pity me. I said I'd ask a simple question. Is there somebody you should be checking on? I don't say this for you to pity them. I say this because I am at least 3 whacks into my tree. I don't know how many more I have in me. I'd like to stop, but I do need some help. What can you do to prevent a death by suicide? Now, for my people listening who experience suicide, particularly the artists, who feel the world as I do, know that you are not alone. Know that I do not judge you, and that you are loved by someone who you may never meet. If you let go of the world sometimes, you still left an impression. The world is better having known you for however long it gets to. There is another generation growing up who feel as we do, and I hope we can all be there to guide them, because they need people like us, not like the ones who made us. You already are a work of art. I hope we get to keep growing together.